Grenada. Get ready for a historical moment as the St. Mark's Independence Day Committee presents Rise.
50 years we're blessed, we're forged in fire.
Rise, the event on Independence Day, Wednesday, February 7th, and we start things off from 4:30 a.m. at Hero Square in Victoria. Come witness a presentation on how Grenada gained its independence through storytelling, poetry, and drumming. It will be a cultural explosion with the VECO parading through the streets of Victoria, blowing of shells, ringing of bells, and much more. Come on out in your national colors on the morning of Independence Day, Wednesday, February 7th. We are celebrating 50 years of Grenada's independence. It's Rise, the event. See you there.
Get ready for the grand finale as Grenada counts down to its 50th Independence Day.
As we reach the pinnacle of our celebrations, there's still a fantastic lineup of events awaiting you.
We're continuing the festivities on February 2nd as we explore some of Grenada's finest products and services at the All Things Grenada 50th Independence Expo.
As the sun sets, join us for an unforgettable night of rhythm and melodies at Up From Here, the music concert.
Experience an evening of sophistication at the Governor General's Gala on February 3rd.
Let's congregate in Thanksgiving at the Ecumenical Church service on February 4th. And then we head to the St. Paul's Community Center for some Independence family fun.
On February 5th, Prime Minister, the Honorable Dickon Mitchell, will share his vision for Grenada's growth and prosperity over the next 25 years.
As we approach the eve of independence on February 6th, we stick with tradition and celebrate National Colors Day.
The big day, February 7th, is not to be missed. Witness the culmination of Grenada's Golden Jubilee celebrations at the National Stadium.
February 8th, we're spending an enchanting traditional evening under the stars at Fork in the Town.
We close this extraordinary celebration with Pan 50 and Food Fest for an evening of music and cuisine on the Carriacou.
For the full calendar and to plan your attendance, visit GrenadaTurns50.gd.
Join us on this united journey. One people, one journey, one future.
Good morning, Petite Martinique. Good morning, Carriacou. Good morning, Grenada. What a day to be alive. Today is the day we've all been waiting for. Today you have something to celebrate. Today we reflect and celebrate our journey, our people, our nation. Today is the day to show your national pride. Today is the day we put aside our differences and unite. Today is the day we adorn ourselves in red, in green, and in gold. Today we shine like the 7 stars on the flag. Today we salute. Today we pay tribute. Today we appreciate. Today we step out as we step into a new chapter. 50 years of progress. 50 years of achievements. Let's go, Petite Martinique and Carriacou. Let's go, Grenada. Let's go to the Golden Jubilee celebration on February 7th at the National Stadium. I'll see you there.
So as we approach our 50th anniversary of independence, the National Organising Committee, in partnership with Solid Waste, would like to encourage the nation to really look at how you can enhance, beautify, and look after your environment. And let's look at how we can be more creative with our beautification, how we can recycle, and let's use solid waste to get rid of all our large items. Solid waste have a monthly process by which you can call them at any time during the month and have your waste collected and disposed of on your behalf. And this is an annual thing. This is a monthly thing. It's an ongoing. But at this time, the National Celebrations Committee want to encourage the nation to use that opportunity now. Get rid of your waste, clean up your communities, clean up your environment, call solid waste, and ask them to organise for you to have your garbage removed. We also want to take this opportunity to encourage the nation, particularly the business places at this time, to get your decorations up. Let's see the buntings, let's see the pennants, let's see the skirts and our Happy Independence banners across the island. Let's build up that hype. We've got tourists coming in, we've got our nationals returning. When they arrive, we want them to see a country we want them to feel welcome. We want them to see a country that is beautified and that is excited to be celebrating its 50th anniversary of independence. So let's get out there, people. Get rid of your garbage, speak to solid waste and let them support you in getting that done. And let's all have a wonderful 50th independence anniversary.
This is 50 years of Calypso excellence as Made in Grenada presents Calypso at 50 featuring Unlucky.
I must go back, my little island is calling.
The original inspector.
So when you see me in the cold mountain, what I'm planting,
Flying Turkey, Lady Cinty, Smokey, Peter Humphrey, Randy Isaac, Woodsman Kelly, Squeezy, Scholar, Black Wizard, and Jamo, and the Hitman Inspector. One stage, one night, Sunday, February 11th, 6 p.m. sharp at the Grenada National Cricket Stadium. Tickets are $50 and are available at Grenadian Optical, Town and Grandans, Mitchell's Wellness, Grandans, St. David Pharmacy, Maxis More, and St. Andrew Pharmacy, Calypso, Sates, Shizemore, Licks and Bites, and GoToFed.com. The hits, the classics, the performances as Grenada celebrates 50. Sponsored by Flow, Brighton and Miners, Antillian Group, Spicile Auto Rental, Wayne Mitchell, Glenelg, Springwater, Grenada Bottling Company, Grenada Distillers, makers of Gladscott Rum. Sunday, February 11th, 6 p.m. Grenada National Stadium. This is 50 years of Calypso excellence. Grenada, get ready for a historical moment as the St. Mark's Independence Day Committee presents Rise.
50 years we're blessed, we're forged in fire.
Rise, the event on Independence Day, Wednesday, February 7th, and we start things off from 4:30 a.m. at Hero Square in Victoria. Come witness a presentation on how Grenada gained its independence through storytelling, poetry, and drumming. It will be a cultural explosion with the VECO parading through the streets of Victoria, blowing of shells, ringing of bells, and much more. Come on out in your national colors on the morning of Independence Day, Wednesday, February 7th. We are celebrating 50 years of Grenada's independence. It's Rise, the event. See you there.
Get ready for the grand finale as Grenada counts down to its 50th Independence Day.
As we reach the pinnacle of our celebrations, there's still a fantastic lineup of events awaiting you.
We're continuing the festivities on February 2nd as we explore some of Grenada's finest products and services at the All Things Grenada 50th Independence Expo.
As the sun sets, join us for an unforgettable night of rhythm and melodies at Up From Here, the music concert.
Experience an evening of sophistication at the Governor General's Gala on February 3rd.
Let's congregate in Thanksgiving at the Ecumenical Church service on February 4th. And then we head to the St. Paul's Community Center for some Independence family fun.
On February 5th, Prime Minister, the Honorable Dickon Mitchell, will share his vision for Grenada's growth and prosperity over the next 25 years.
As we approach the eve of independence on February 6th, we stick with tradition and celebrate National Colors Day.
The big day, February 7th, is not to be missed. Witness the culmination of Grenada's Golden Jubilee celebrations at the National Stadium.
February 8th, we will spend an enchanting traditional evening under the stars at Fork in the Town.
We close this extraordinary celebration with Pan 50 and Food Fest for an evening of music and cuisine on the Carriacou.
For the full calendar and to plan your attendance, visit GrenadaTurns50.gd.
Join us on this united journey. One people, one journey, one future.
If I take time and I write down all the things that I love on my island, best believe my list gon' be like 5 miles long. Best believe it's love that makes me sing this song.
The cleanest breeze on the waters,
Friendly people meet in every corner. Togetherness and love is what we stand for. We stand for. We stand for.
Oh, island in the sun. Look at how we've grown, how far we've run. 50 years we strong and more to come. More to come. More to come. Going higher. 50 years we're blessed, we're forged in fire. Still reaching for more. Going up, going up, 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 up. Going up, going up, going up, 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 up.
we're going higher, going higher. As we aspire, build advances, put people together.
Bang, bang, bang.
It's only up from
We'll take time to reminisce on the richness of our history from the beginning. From the people who came through sugar and change, emancipation through revolution. More than the speck up on the globe, more than the ice cream and gold, much more than the nutmeg and the clove. Tell the world we are Grenadians. Oh.
3 islands united as one, blessed with the strength to carry on. We're more than just that island in the sun. Tell the world we are Grenadians.
Higher. 50 years we're blessed, we're forged in fire. Oh, you mean? We going up, going up, going up, 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 going up, going up, going up, 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 up. Aspire, build advances, want people together. Going up, going up, going up, 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 going up, going up, going up, 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 up.
Really and truly, can't find the words to describe what my country mean to me. So much things we take for granted, but so much things they give to me.
Peace and tranquility, family, community. It no matter where we go in the world, just know that the women's where my heart is.
50 years, as you shape for 50 more, as you shape to reach your goal, like you only bring the goal.
I can see the vision clear. Sing it out to let the people hear.
Look at how we've gone and how far we've come.
50 years we strong and more to come, more to come, more to come. It's only up from here. It's only up.
We're going higher.
50 years we're blessed, we're forged in fire. Still reaching for more. Going up, going up, 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 going up, 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 going up, 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 up.
We make the Carriacou and Petite Martinique.
Going higher. 50 years we're blessed, we're forged in fire. Still reaching for more. Going up, going up, 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 up. Going up, going up, going up, 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 up,
We're
up.
going higher, going higher. As we aspire, build
Grenada. Get ready for a historical moment as the St. Mark's Independence Day Committee presents Rise.
50 years we're blessed, we're forged in fire.
Rise, the event on Independence Day, Wednesday, February 7th, and we start things off from 4:30 a.m. at Hero Square in Victoria. Come witness a presentation on how Grenada gained its independence through storytelling, poetry, and drumming. It will be a cultural explosion with the VECO parading through the streets of Victoria, blowing of shells, ringing of bells, and much more. Come on out in your national colors on the morning of Independence Day, Wednesday, February 7th. We are celebrating 50 years of Grenada's independence. It's Rise, the event. See you there.
Get ready for the grand finale as Grenada counts down to its 50th Independence Day.
As we reach the pinnacle of our celebrations, there's still a fantastic lineup of events awaiting you.
We're continuing the festivities on February 2nd as we explore some of Grenada's finest products and services at the All Things Grenada 50th Independence Expo.
As the sun sets, join us for an unforgettable night of rhythm and melodies at Up From Here, the music concert.
Experience an evening of sophistication at the Governor General's Gala on February 3rd.
Let's congregate in Thanksgiving at the Ecumenical Church service on February 4th. And then we head to the St. Paul's Community Center for some Independence family fun.
On February 5th, Prime Minister, the Honorable Dickon Mitchell, will share his vision for Grenada's growth and prosperity over the next 25 years.
As we approach the eve of independence on February 6th, we stick with tradition and celebrate National Colors Day.
The big day, February 7th, is not to be missed. Witness the culmination of Grenada's Golden Jubilee celebrations at the National Stadium.
February 8th, we will spend an enchanting traditional evening under the stars at Walk in the Town.
We close this extraordinary celebration with Pan 50 and Food Fest for an evening of music and cuisine on the Carriacou.
For the full calendar and to plan your attendance, visit GrenadaTurns50.gd.
Join us on this united journey. One people, one journey, one future.
Good morning, Petite Martinique. Good morning, Carriacou. Good morning, Grenada. What a day to be alive. Today is the day we've all been waiting for. Today you have something to celebrate. Today we reflect and celebrate our journey, our people, our nation. Today is the day to show your national pride. Today is the day we put aside our differences and unite. Today is the day we adorn ourselves in red, in green, and in gold. Today we shine like the 7 stars on the flag. Today we salute. Today we pay tribute. Today we appreciate. Today we step out as we step into a new chapter. 50 years of progress. 50 years of achievements. Let's go, Petite Martinique and Carriacou. Let's go, Grenada. Let's go to the Golden Jubilee celebration on February 7th at the National Stadium. I'll see you there.
So as we approach our 50th anniversary of independence, the National Organising Committee, in partnership with Solid Waste, would like to encourage the nation to really look at how you can enhance, beautify, and look after your environment. And let's look at how we can be more creative with our beautification, how we can recycle, and let's use solid waste to get rid of all our large items. Solid waste have a monthly process by which you can call them at any time during the month and have your waste collected and disposed of on your behalf. And this is an annual thing. This is a monthly thing. It's an ongoing. But at this time, the National Celebrations Committee want to encourage the nation to use that opportunity now. Get rid of your waste, clean up your communities, clean up your environment, call solid waste, and ask them to organise for you to have your garbage removed. We also want to take this opportunity to encourage the nation, particularly the business places at this time, to get your decorations up. Let's see the buntings, let's see the pennants, let's see the skirts and our Happy Independence banners across the island. Let's build up that hype. We've got tourists coming in, we've got our nationals returning. When they arrive, we want them to see a country we want them to feel welcome. We want them to see a country that is beautified and that is excited to be celebrating its 50th anniversary of independence. So let's get out there, people, get rid of your garbage, speak to Solid Waste and let them support you in getting that done. And let's all have a wonderful 50th independence anniversary.
This is 50 years of Calypso excellence as Made in Grenada presents Calypso at 50 featuring Unlucky.
I must go back, my little island is called.
The original inspector.
So when you see me in the cold mountain, what I'm planting,
Flying Turkey, Lady Cinty, Smokey, Peter Humphrey, Randy Isaac, Woodsman Kelly, Squeezy, Scholar, Black Wizard, and Chamo, and the Hitman Inspector. One stage, one night, Sunday, February 11th, 6 p.m. sharp at the Grenada National Cricket Stadium. Tickets are $50 and are available at Grenadian Optical, Town and Grandans, Mitchell's Wellness, Grandans, St. David Pharmacy, Maxis More, and St. Andrew Pharmacy, Calico, Sates, Shizemore, Licks and Bites, and GoToFed.com. The hits, the classics, the performances as Grenada celebrates 50. Sponsored by Flow, Brighton and Miners, Antillian Group, Spice Isle Auto Rental, Wayne Mitchell, Glenelg, Springwater, Grenada Bottling Company, Grenada Distillers, makers of Gladscott Rum. Sunday, February 11th, 6 p.m. Grenada National Stadium. This is 50 years of Calypso excellence.
You may have your seats. She's there. We beg your indulgence for just a few moments as we await the arrival of our Governor General, Dame Cecile La Grenade. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand one more time as we welcome Her Excellency Dame Cecile La Grenade, Governor General of Grenada. Please remain standing as I welcome Miss Tamara Songbird Saint Bernard to sing the national anthem of Grenada.
Hail Grenada, land of ours, we pledge ourselves to thee. Heads, hearts, and hands in unity to reach our destiny. Ever conscious of God, being proud of our heritage. May we with faith and courage, as by your build advance, as one people, one family. God bless our nation.
Thank you, Tamara. In everything we give thanks, and today we want to give thanks to God for his many blessings. And of course, Grenada is celebrating 50 years of independence. So much to give thanks for. At this time, I'd like to welcome and invite to the podium to give for the opening prayer, Archdeacon Michael Marshall.
Let us bow our heads as we reverence and acknowledge the presence of Almighty God. Let us pray. Almighty God and Father, to you we give all honor and praise this evening. You have been faithful to us as a nation, and we give thanks and glory to you, Sovereign Lord. For you are the source of life, and all good gifts come from you. Gracious God, you alone are the true source of our cherished rights of life, liberty, the pursuits of happiness, and so we thank you for our nation's 50th anniversary of independence. Thank you for the gathering here this evening, united in spirit and purpose, as we commence this significant historic occasion, the unveiling of the commemorative Golden Anniversary EC $50 bill. Bless this ceremony, the leadership of the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank, the leadership of this country, and all our people. We thank you for the sacrifices of those who have gone before us, for their enduring spirit and courage in the face of adversity. We pray that we may honor their legacy with responsible stewardship of all our resources. Lord, I pray that this commemorative bill would be a symbol of pride as a nation and its journey towards progress and sustainable development. Grant that its circulation would not just enable commerce, but inspire those who hold it to reflect on our rich shared history with deep respect and honor, and to look ahead with renewed hope and determination to a prosperous future for Grenada and all our brothers and sisters in the OECS. Bless all those whose creative hands and mind contributed to making this commemorative note a reality, for its conception to its launch. May their efforts be renewed and rewarded with success, and may this note resonate with all who encounter it. In this time of Jubilee, grant wisdom to our Prime Minister as he presents the plan for Grenada beyond 50 years, a sustainable and strategic vision where all will be involved and one that will meet everyone's need. And now, with a heart filled with love and gratitude, I commit this ceremony and all it represents for us as a proud Grenadian people into your loving, caring hands, our Creator, our help in ages past, and our hope for years to come. Amen.
Thank you, Archdeacon. You may have your seats. Your Excellency, Dame Cecile La Grenade, Governor General of Grenada, Honorable Dickon Mitchell, Prime Minister of Grenada, members of Cabinet and visiting ministers, Senator the Honorable Decima Williams, President of the Senate, Honorable Leo Cato, Speaker of the House of Representatives, Mr. Tillman Thomas, former Prime Minister and Mrs. Thomas, Dr. Timothy Antoine, Governor of the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank, Venerable Archdeacon Michael Marshall, Archdeacon of Grenada, Dean of the Diplomatic Corps and other members of the Corps, Mr. Kirani James, Sports and Tourism Ambassador, I didn't expect an applause in the salutation. All right, we're going, it's 50, so it's a big deal, my brother. Judges and other members of the judiciary, other members of parliament, Ms. Deborah St. Bernard, Chairman of the Public Service Commission, Ms. Carvel-Lett, Secretary to the Cabinet, permanent secretaries and other senior government officials, Mr. Don McKenzie, Commissioner of the Royal Grenada Police Force, and other ranks and files of the Royal Grenada Police Force, specially invited guests, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, friends all. Grenada's 50th anniversary celebration recognizes a journey that has shaped the course of our history and identity as a people. My name is Neela Etienne, and it is my absolute pleasure to welcome you all to the Unveiling. '50 is a big deal. And to welcome you officially, I'd like to invite to the podium Dr. Wendy Crawford, the chairperson of the National Organizing Committee.
No, it's all right. Wow. Good evening, all. Standing on the protocol just recently established, I will just say welcome, and on behalf of the National Organizing Committee, I want to welcome all of you to this very important event. This is the signature event of the National Organizing Committee. And when I look at the attendance and the turnout and the excitement and the fervor in this room, I have no doubt that the unveiling will be very special. So welcome all. We have a very interesting and engaging evening. So thank you for coming, and let's get our business going. Thank you very much.
Let's get our business going, that's right. Thank you, Dr. Crawford, for your warm, brief opening remarks. Ladies and gentlemen, our next speaker is an economist. He's an economist and development practitioner who was born in Grenada. He has served as the third governor. He is serving, rather, as the third governor of the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank. He holds a BSc in economics from the University of the West Indies, Cave Hill, and an MSc in social policy and planning in developing countries from the London School of Economics. He invested 14 years of his life as a permanent secretary in the Ministry of Finance for the government of Grenada. From 2005 to 2007, he served as advisor to the executive director for Canada, Ireland, and the Caribbean, and was based in Washington, D.C. In 2016, he was the recipient of the Order of Grenada Gold Award for Excellence. In 2018, he was awarded an honorary doctorate in humane letters by the St. George's University and received a certificate for outstanding leadership and public service from the University of the West Indies. In the same year, he was named Caribbean Central Bank Governor of the Year by Global Markets. He is currently chairman of the Eastern Caribbean Home Mortgage Bank, chairman of the Eastern Caribbean Securities Exchange, and chairman of the Cybersecurity Unit. He also serves as a board member of the Toronto Center. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome to the podium our governor, the governor of the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank, Governor Timothy Antoine.
Thank you. Thank you, Master of Ceremonies. For a moment, I was concerned that your introduction, very kind introduction, might be longer than my brief remarks. I am going to stand on the protocol already established. Suffice to recognize our head of state, Dame Cecile La Grenada, Governor General, and Prime Minister Honorable Dickon Mitchell. G is for gold, and G is also for Grenada. Oh yes, you got that right. On this glorious evening in Golden Grenada, the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank offers its heartiest congratulations to the government and people of Grenada on the celebration of your Golden Jubilee, the 50th anniversary of independence. Let me hasten to say I bring spicy greetings from the management and staff of the ECCB, but especially the Grenadians who work at the ECCB and the Grenadians residing in the Federation on St. Kitts and Nevis. And frankly spoken, many of them wish to be home at this time. To my fellow Grenadians, at home and abroad, I say Happy Golden Jubilee. I offer my highest praise to Almighty God, for it is in Him we live and move and have our being. Indeed, it is from His abundance that Grenada has received one gracious blessing after another. As we reflect on the past half-century and the antecedents to Grenada's independence, I think we will readily agree that there have been many glorious days, but also some grievous days. But through it all, God has stood with this nation, and we are forever grateful. I now wish to acknowledge the esteemed presence of Dame Cecile La Grenada, Governor General, Honorable Dickon Mitchell, Prime Minister, and all the distinguished gathering. I will not go through the list in the interest of time. But to everyone, I say good evening. The scriptures declare that without a vision, the people perish. This special commemorative note, which we are launching this evening, is the brainchild of Prime Minister Dickon Mitchell. He also happens to be the first Prime Minister born after Grenada attained political independence. Prime Minister, I'm not saying anything about your age. When Prime Minister called me last June and proposed this collaboration, I was immediately excited. And there was only one question in my mind: how quickly could we get this done? Because you see, typically, the design and manufacturing and production, publishing of a note, issuance of a note, takes 2 years. 2 years. I immediately called my Director of Currency, Rosbert Humphrey, who subsequently contacted De La Rue, our long-standing currency partner. And so a journey to this launch began. Of course, we had to secure the approval of the Monetary Council, and I am pleased to say now represented by Minister Cornwall, and I am pleased to say that the Monetary Council gave unanimous approval for this special, unprecedented issuance last July. And once approved, we were officially off to the races. At this juncture, I wish to recognize the work of the Grenada team in the design of this special commemorative note, led by Orlando Romaine. I think most of you know Orlando is one of Grenada's finest creatives, also very hardworking. Orlando, where are you? I'd like you to stand and take a bow. He's somewhere about? At the back. Let's give Orlando a round of applause. I also wish to recognize the work of my colleague, Rosbert Humphrey, our Director of Currency Management Department, for his dedication to this collaboration. Rosbert is here this evening. Rosbert, could you please stand? And I also wish to recognize Dilaroo, our long-standing currency partner, who is represented this evening by Mr. Gareth Evans. Gareth, please stand. Take a bow as well. Thank you. And all those who contributed. As you know, the ECCB celebrated its 40th Ruby anniversary last year. And during our celebrations, we hailed the contribution of our founders and framers. One of our founders is a Grenadian who signed the ECCB agreement on July 5th, 1983. And let's be clear, without the signing of this agreement, there would be no ECCB. Does anyone recall who was a Grenadian who signed the ECCB agreement for Grenada? Hello? Oh, there you get it. Oh, yeah, thank you. I think I heard the Governor General and the President of the Senate. I was about to pull out some 50s, but, well, we'll leave that for another time. Just kidding. Not yet. Not so fast. Not so fast. Thank you. It was indeed Maurice Bishop. And by the way, 2 years... Yeah. We have to know our history, and our children in particular, you need to remember. And 2 years prior, in June 1981, he, Maurice Bishop, signed the Treaty of Bastille, which ushered in the OECS, the Organization of Eastern Caribbean States. And this evening, we are very pleased to have in our midst the Director General of the OECS Commission, Dr. Dickon Mitchell, who is himself no stranger to Grenada, for those of you who know our history as well. Grenada is the first member of the Eastern Caribbean Currency Union to have attained political independence. On the occasion of this Golden Jubilee, Grenada is creating another first with the launch of a 50 commemorative circulation note, simply called the Grenada 50. Commemorative simply means we are celebrating the special occasion of the Golden Jubilee. And circulation simply means that you will be able to use it in everyday commercial transactions. Now, I know some of you will want to keep it for posterity. Yes, me too. But you can spend it. Don't take it out of circulation, all of it. And I also want to say to you, this note will be legal tender throughout the currency union, which simply means while it will be only issued in Grenada, you can spend it anywhere in the currency union. So you can use it in your neighborhood shops, your stores, or in the supermarkets. You will have the choice to decide. Fellow Grenadians, as you see, touch, and feel your Grenada 50, let it inspire you. Let it inspire you. Indeed, may it inspire current and future generations of Grenadians to greatness. Because G is for Grenada, but G is also for greatness. Envision what could be and should be in our beautiful Isle of Spice. Envision what it will take and what will be your contribution to doubling the size of the Grenadian economy over the next 10 years, for example. And permit me to be pellucidly clear. The big push challenge, as I refer to it, is a lot more than economics. In fact, fundamentally, it is about doubling the space and opportunities for every single Grenadian to fully maximize their time, talent, treasure, testimony, touch, and trust. And to do so in service to themselves, yourselves, your families, your country, our country, and to our humanity. Before I end, I recognize in our midst our Olympic and world champion, Kirani James. And let me say this, Kirani. When you won in Daegu in 2011, we knew you were special, but we weren't sure our world championship was just there, just yet. You did it. But when you got to London in 2012, expectations were sky high. 1 year later, and you delivered the gold. And you did that for Grenada and for the Caribbean. But Kirani, Ambassador Kirani, I will tell you this. When you won the gold and bronze, in Tokyo, coming back from Graves' disease, man, you have no idea. You have no idea what I did for Grenada and for the Caribbean. And I will tell you something only my wife knows. On that day, I was emotionally stirred deep within by what you did. You inspire all of us. So, fellow Grenadians and people of the Eastern Caribbean, there lies or sits a great Grenadian. Now let me conclude. So as we set sail, or if you prefer, take flight for the next 50 years, let us do so with a sense of purpose, passion, patriotism, pride. Most importantly, let us do it together. Together. And never forget, with God, all things are possible. Happy Golden Grenada. Onward, forward, upward. One people, one journey, one future, one love. I thank you.
And like Kirani, who continues to inspire us, you continue to inspire us, Governor. Thank you for your profound message to Grenada. G for gold, G for greatness, G for Grenada. Thank you for contributing to the OECS, to Grenada, and to the world. Let us remember the P's that he spoke about: purpose, patriotism, pride. And he did say one thing that should stick out every single time: let's do it together. Another round of applause for our governor, Dr. Timothy Antoine. So I'm gonna quote Dr. Wendy Crawford. Let's get the ball. What did you say? Let's get the ball rolling. All right, so everybody knows what she says except me. I'm sure I got the essence, right? While we're unveiling, we want to invite our esteemed Prime Minister, the Honorable Dickon Mitchell, who will present. He will present the note. He will unveil the note. But before he does that, we want him to share some remarks about the journey of creating this note. Welcome, our Prime Minister, the Honorable Dickon Mitchell.
Good evening, everyone. Please have your seats. Thank you. There is a very bright light shining on me, so I'm not sure if that's meant to stay on for the whole night. Is it? It is? Okay, then I might need to do a Stevie Wonder. Thank you very much. Well, if the governor's mini sermon didn't inspire you, in case you didn't know, he's a pastor as well. If you did not pick that up in his mini sermon, if that didn't inspire you, then nothing can inspire you. Governor General Dame Cecile La Grenade, President of the Senate, Dr. Decima Williams, colleague members of Cabinet, members of the Diplomatic Corps, other members of Parliament who are present with us, and a special welcome to visiting members of the Diplomatic Corps who have journeyed to be with us this evening. I believe I recognize Dr. Amory Brown from Trinidad and Tobago. Welcome, sir. I see your colleague, Ambassador Chatterjee from Canada. Next to her is perhaps the newest kid on the block, a distinguished colleague from the United States who I just met today. Welcome, sir. Of course, we have many of our resident ambassadors who are here with us all the time. Your Excellency from China, Venezuela, I'm not sure if I'm missing anyone else, Cuba. Thank you for being here. I'm doing this impromptu, so if I miss anyone, I do apologize, but I thought it important to acknowledge their presence, given that they are our partners in this 50th anniversary celebration. So thank you for coming, and thank you for being with us. The governor pointed out something, but I should perhaps say in 1974, it would have been G. I was told this by the Minister for Foreign Affairs. So since I'm post-independence, if I get it wrong for those who are pre-independence, you can blame the Minister for Foreign Affairs. He said in 1974 it would have been G for God, G for Grenada, and G. Let me hear you. G for? So clearly the Minister of Foreign Affairs is not wrong. It would have been G for Gary. And perhaps single-handedly, we are standing here, at least in human terms, because of the G for Gary. And whether you liked him then or not, whether you opposed him then or not, whether you supported him then or not, I think we have to accept that for whatever may be his shortcomings and flaws, that he, as the father of the nation, is indeed a great Grenadian. And so the inspiration as to how can we commemorate in a permanent way the 50th anniversary of Grenada's independence was largely stirred by the inspiration received from the formidable courage and perhaps single-mindedness of Sir Eric Matthew Gary. And I'm told by the creative Mr. Romain, and you would perhaps see this in due course, that his favorite quote from Sir Eric was, "The difficult we do right away, the impossible we take a little longer." So, Governor, I think you, your team, the mentors, the creatives were clearly inspired by Sir Eric Matthew, because it is clear that you've managed to cut the time in half to producing a note which ordinarily will take 2 years into certainly within a year. So I want to start by thanking the governor for readily accepting the challenge, thanking his team, the mentors, Mr. Romain and the creatives in Grenada, who immediately went to work to ensure that this happened. But this would not have been possible without the support and agreement of the governors of the central bank. And I'm saying governors here to mean each of the representatives from the respective ministries of finance in the OECS, which ultimately has responsibility for the central bank. And so, although this is a Grenada-issued note, in essence, it is in fact a regional note. And Grenada led the way 50 years ago as the first island furthest south in the OECS chain to obtain its independence. And so once again, we are pleased to be the first of the OECS member states to have a note issued specific to mark the 50th anniversary of our independence. We trust and can assure our partners in the OECS that when their turn comes, we will be more than happy to support a similar initiative amongst our member states. So the idea behind the note was really to reflect things which are uniquely Grenadian. And when you get to see the note, I hope you would appreciate that process. I should start off by saying it is a mixture of personalities, landmarks, and things which are uniquely Grenadian. You'd also appreciate that Grenada's national colors are extremely vibrant. And so, bearing in mind that the governor and his team wanted to make sure that the notes did not stand out too much from the rest of the OECS notes, given the vibrancy of its colors, the creatives and the mentors had to work some magic to work with what are clearly, both individually and collectively, very, very vibrant colors. But I think when you see the note, you would appreciate their genius in accomplishing this. So, what would we see on the notes? We would see three iconic national figures. I will await the unveiling of the note to identify who those figures are. We would see iconic landmarks. We would see national symbols. And collectively, when you see them, you know indisputably it is a note for Grenada, about Grenada, and to inspire Grenada. So, like Dr. Crawford, I will be brief so that we can get on with the real business of the unveiling of the note. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for attending. And do enjoy the remainder of the evening. Thank you.
Mr. Prime Minister, I'd like to ask you to stand next to that beautiful red fabric. We're going to also invite two students from the Happy Hill Secondary School. We have the spotlight. The great reveal is about to take place. Two students from the Happy Hill Secondary School will accompany the Prime Minister as we unveil the $50 note. Can we have a drum roll, please? It's a performance. So after 3 or after 50? All right. Okay. So let's count down with me from 5. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Now let us walk hand in hand to build a better land and say so long, Colonna. Now let us walk hand in hand to build a better land and say so long, colonialism.
Our island beams with pride this year. As we mark the 50th anniversary of our political independence, we remember the journey to this moment in time, and we recognize the sons and daughters whose hands have helped to carve the Grenadian landscape and sculpt our ethos. When Sir Eric Matthew Geary transformed his labor union into a political party, he set in motion a chain of events that would ultimately lead to our independence. A man of action, a man of the people, and a man committed to change. Under his leadership, we emerged out of colonialism, determined to reshape our society and make it reflect Grenadian authenticity. In a similar fashion, Maurice Bishop embodied Grenadian determination and dedication to improvement and self-reliance. He remains a beacon of hope and a constant reminder that we control our destiny. It is for this reason our airport bears his name. Cocoa and nutmeg, 2 crops for which we are known, laid the foundation for our economy and society to grow. But this is not our most valuable resource. In fact, our most valuable resource is our people. Every man, every woman, and child who do the necessary to carry our nation forward with vision and purpose. We produce excellence, and although we are small, we have a habit of showing the world what we are made of. Kirani James, the living legend, has shown us not once, not twice, but 3 times that greatness can come from a small place. Our resilience has been tested countless times, but our resolve has always been to build back better. The bougainvillea is symbolic of the tenacious spirit every Grenadian possesses. Our national flower represents more than beauty. It represents strength and diversity, able to withstand harsh climates and still bloom in multiple colors. That is us as a people. Strong, adaptive, and radiantly beautiful. Our rich tapestry of our culture can be seen in our food, our music, our way of life, and so much more. From the iconic carronage to the majesty of the Annadale waterfalls to boat building in Carriacou. As we reflect of the past 50 years and prepare for the next 50 ahead. This commemorative note is not just an ode to 50 years, but an acknowledgement of those who made the last 50 years something worthy of celebration. It is a poignant reminder of who we are and our achievements. It is a message to every citizen, a proclamation of our pride. As the note begins circulation, let it spark a renewed love of country in every Grenadian.
We told you 50 was a big deal. It started a few weeks ago with the pinning of our secondary school students. Then we moved on to the primary school students, and now we've unveiled the commemorative, our $50 note. And we want to thank our governor, the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank, and of course our dear Prime Minister for his idea. I believe he wants to make some more remarks. You can go right ahead, sir.
Mike, okay, good. All right, so in an attempt, I thought it would be appropriate for us to actually say what's on the note. And so I will attempt to do so by standing on the side and explaining what we have. I'm not sure if there's any way to make the note a little larger for the magicians at the back. If not, I will hope that those at the back can see what I'm pointing to. So this is the front of the note. As you see, front concept details. And starting at the immediate top, it's clear that it's an Eastern Caribbean Central Bank note. All right, could we come down a little? Thank you. Pull the note down a little. Or zoom it back in a little, a little more, a little more. There we go. All right, well, let's leave it like that. Right, so to the top right-hand corner, you have 50 years Grenada's independence. And coming down immediately from this is our living legend in flight, His Excellency Kirani James. Of course, the larger-than-life figure that you see on the note, recognizable to every Grenadian and perhaps every Caribbean and OECS national, is Sir Eric Matthew Gary, the father of our nation and the one who led us into independence. And as you can see, the quote that I referred to is right there. The difficult we do right away, the impossible we take a little longer. Beneath Sir Eric, you have a family standing. Child, mother, father, holding hands and pointing into the distance to the mountain or hilltop. And this symbolizes our aspiration or desire to get to the hilltop together, as pointed out by the Governor General. And they are pointing at a renowned landmark, the Annandale Waterfall, which, as you can see, is cascading down and emptying out into the pond. Superimposed partly on the Annandale Waterfall is our tri-island state, the map of Petite Martinique, Carriacou, and Grenada, shown in red. As we come further down, we have our coat of arms, shown in beautiful colors. And when you get the note and you're able to look at it, it's translucent, if that's the right term. So you're able to see the coat of arms on both the front and the back of the note. And to the right of the coat of arms is our national flower, the bougainvillea, which blooms in dry, difficult, arid times. So the tougher it gets, the more we smile, the more we bloom, the more we become resilient. To the right of the bougainvillea is our iconic nutmeg and cocoa. The nutmeg is shown with the pericarp. You have a cocoa that is cut open, and you can see the inside of the cocoa. And it's actually, again, in the translucent 50, so it may take a while for you to recognize it. But right here is the cocoa. This is our $50 note, and we have an example of the cocoa here again. To the bottom is an iconic landmark, the Maurice Bishop International Airport. And you can see that right at the bottom. And of course, this will not be legal tender without the signature of our dear governor, the governor of the central bank. And it clearly says that the notes are legal tender. And right at the bottom of the notes, you have our 50th anniversary theme, one people, one journey, one future. So those are some of the elements on the front of the note. If you look closely as well, you would see that there's a butterfly there as well, which again is part of, in a sense, the natural beauty of Grenada. So if we can turn to the back side of the note. Sorry, there we go. The back concept. You may not be able to notice it until you probably get the note, but I'll point it out because it says right at the top, you see boat building. And what is represented there is the hull of the boat, which typifies the uniqueness of our boat builders in Petite Martinique and Carriacou, or Honorable MP for Petite Martinique and Carriacou are here. Of course, the larger-than-life figure of Maurice Bishop is shown, together with a quote which he made popular in this part of the world, for whatever. Well, I don't need to say it. Further down, we've got the big drum dancers, and you can see the drumming together with our belly dancer, which again is emblematic of our culture. As we come further down, again, that's the part of the note that's translucent. So you've got the coat of arms again, you've got our cocoa, you've got our bougainvillea, you've got our nutmeg. And as you come further down, you have right at the bottom the iconic carnache, which obviously is probably one of the most scenic and well-known picturesque tongues when one comes in either by land or by sea. And so that's the significant landmark that you see at the bottom. So in essence, those are the features on the note. I trust, as Grenadians, we appreciate the uniqueness, the hard work, the sacrifice of those who've gone before, and that we did a good enough representation of some of those things that are iconic, some of our national heroes who've paved the way, not just from a political perspective, but from an absolute point of national pride. And we have one of them here with us today, our living legend, Mr. Kirani James. So I really want to thank the governor and his team for making this possible. Now, this is the unveiling. The governor was at pains to indicate that it normally takes 2 years to do this. We have tried desperately to get it done within 1 year. So the notes themselves, this is in a sense the ceremonial part, to say the notes have been, in essence, to the point where they can be printed, but they actually do need to be printed, and that takes a while. And obviously for security reasons, it has to be done properly. So we expect that the notes will be available in June. And so once they're available in June, whether the governor opts to do another ceremonial session like this, hopefully on his tab, we'll be happy to do so, and to then make the notes actually available for circulation. So we will certainly keep you updated as we get closer to that time. So those who are controlling, if you can perhaps put back both the front and the back of the notes for final viewing. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for your attention.
Thank you, Mr. Prime Minister. I was going to say, if you look very closely, when you get yours, of course, if you look closely on the, not the front, but the back of the note, and you look on the carnage, you might see me buying some fish. But you must look closely. Because the day they took the picture, there were quite a few of us buying fish. So, on that note, I'd like to invite the governor of the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank to present the very first note to our Governor General, Dame Cecile Lagrenade. Thank you, governors. Mr. Prime Minister, you'll be getting your steps in today. We'd like to ask you to grace the stage one more time. And we'd like to invite family members of Sir Eric Matthew Gary to receive the second note. Thank you to the Garys. The third note will be given to the wife of former Prime Minister Maurice Bishop. It's an emotional day for a lot of us, emotional evening. And finally, the fourth note will be given to King Kirani James, Olympic gold, silver, and bronze medalist, and our world champion. Thank you, congratulations. And the 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, and all the other notes will be distributed in June. And as our governor said, you can spend it. I won't be spending mine unless Ariel Brooks. Yeah, y'all laughing because y'all know he'll do the same thing. All right, thank you so much to our Prime Minister. Thank you once again to our governors, Governor of the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank for distributing notes and for presenting to our Governor General, Dame Cecile La Grenade. We've come to the point where we want to thank you for being here with us for the first segment. We want to invite you to get refreshed. You can stand, stretch, greet a neighbor for 10 minutes. And when we return, our Prime Minister will present his vision for the next 25 years.
Grenada, get ready for a historical moment as the St. Mark's Independence Day Committee presents Rise.
50 years we're blessed, we're forged in fire.
Rise, the event on Independence Day, Wednesday, February 7th, and we start things off from 4:30 a.m. at Hero Square in Victoria. Come witness a presentation on how Grenada gained its independence through storytelling, poetry, and drumming. It will be a cultural explosion with the VECO parading through the streets of Victoria, blowing of shells, ringing of bells, and much more. Come on out in your national colors on the morning of Independence Day, Wednesday, February 7th. We are celebrating 50 years of Grenada's independence. It's Rise, the event. See you there.
Get ready for the grand finale as Grenada counts down to its 50th Independence Day.
As we reach the pinnacle of our celebrations, there's still a fantastic lineup of events awaiting you.
We're continuing the festivities on February 2nd as we explore some of Grenada's finest products and services at the All Things Grenada 50th Independence Expo.
As the sun sets, join us for an unforgettable night of rhythm and melodies at Up From Here, the music concert.
Experience an evening of sophistication at the Governor General's Gala on February 3rd.
Let's congregate in Thanksgiving at the Ecumenical Church service on February 4th. And then we head to the St. Paul's Community Center for some Independence family fun.
On February 5th, Prime Minister, the Honorable Dickon Mitchell, will share his vision for Grenada's growth and prosperity over the next 25 years.
As we approach the eve of independence on February 6th, we stick with tradition and celebrate National Colors Day.
The big day, February 7th, is not to be missed. Witness the culmination of Grenada's Golden Jubilee celebrations at the National Stadium.
February 8th, we will spend an enchanting traditional evening under the stars at Fork in the Town.
We close this extraordinary celebration with Pan 50 and Food Fest for an evening of music and cuisine on the Carriacou.
For the full calendar and to plan your attendance, visit GrenadaTurns50.gd.
Join us on this united journey. One people, one journey, one future.
Good morning, Petite Martinique. Good morning, Carriacou. Good morning, Grenada. What a day to be alive. Today is the day we've all been waiting for. Today you have something to celebrate. Today we reflect and celebrate our journey, our people, our nation. Today is the day to show your national pride. Today is the day we put aside our differences and unite. Today is the day we adorn ourselves in red, in green, and in gold. Today we shine like the 7 stars on the flag. Today we salute. Today we pay tribute. Today we appreciate. Today we step out as we step into a new chapter. 50 years of progress. 50 years of achievements. Let's go, Petite Martinique and Carriacou. Let's go, Grenada. Let's go to the Golden Jubilee celebration on February 7th at the National Stadium. I'll see you there.
So as we approach our 50th anniversary of independence, the National Organising Committee, in partnership with Solid Waste, would like to encourage the nation to really look at how you can enhance, beautify, and look after your environment. And let's look at how we can be more creative with our beautification, how we can recycle, and let's use solid waste to get rid of all our large items. Solid waste have a monthly process by which you can call them at any time during the month and have your waste collected and disposed of on your behalf. And this is an annual thing. This is a monthly thing. It's an ongoing. But at this time, the National Celebrations Committee wants to encourage the nation to use that opportunity now. Get rid of your waste, clean up your communities, clean up your environment, call Solid Waste and ask them to organise for you to have your garbage removed. We also want to take this opportunity to encourage the nation, particularly the business places at this time, to get your decorations up. Let's see the buntings, let's see the pennants, let's see the skirts and our Happy Independence banners across the island. Let's build up that hype. We've got tourists coming in, we've got our nationals returning. When they arrive, we want them to see a country we want them to feel welcome. We want them to see a country that is beautified and that is excited to be celebrating its 50th anniversary of independence. So let's get out there, people. Get rid of your garbage, speak to Solid Waste and let them support you in getting that done. And let's all have a wonderful 50th independence anniversary.
This is 50 years of Calypso excellence as Made in Grenada presents Calypso at 50 featuring Unlucky.
I must go back, my little island is called.
The original Inspector.
So when you see me in the cold mountain, what a plantain.
Flying Turkey, Lady Cinty, Smokey, Peter Humphrey, Randy Isaac, Woodsman Kelly, Squeezy, Scholar, Black Wizard, and Chamo, and the Hitman Inspector. One stage, one night, Sunday, February 11th, 6 p.m. sharp at the Grenada National Cricket Stadium. Tickets are $50 and are available at Canadian Optical, Town and Grandad's, Mitchell's Wellness, Grandad's, St. David Pharmacy, Max's More, and St. Andrew Pharmacy, Calypso, Satez, Shizemore, Licks and Bites, and GoToFed.com. The hits, the classics, the performances as Grenada celebrates 50. Sponsored by Flow, Brighton and Miners, Antillian Group, Spice-Isle Auto Rental, Wayne Mitchell, Glenelg, Springwater, Grenada Bottling Company, Grenada Distillers, makers of Gladscott Rum. Sunday, February 11th, 6 p.m. Grenada National Stadium. This is 50 years of Calypso excellence. Grenada, get ready for a historical moment as the St. Mark's Independence Day Committee presents Rise. 50 years we're blessed, we're forged in fire. Rise, the event on Independence Day, Wednesday, February 7th, and we start things off from 4:30 a.m. at Hero Square in Victoria. Come witness a presentation on how Grenada gained its independence through storytelling, poetry, and drumming. It will be a cultural explosion with the VECO parading through the streets of Victoria, blowing of shells, ringing of bells, and much more. Come on out in your national colors on the morning of Independence Day, Wednesday, February 7th. We are celebrating 50 years of Grenada's independence. It's Rise, the event. See you there.
Get ready for the grand finale as Grenada counts down to its 50th Independence Day.
As we reach the pinnacle of our celebrations, there's still a fantastic lineup of events awaiting you.
We're continuing the festivities on February 2nd as we explore some of Grenada's finest products and services at the All Things Grenada 50th Independence Expo.
As the sun sets, join us for an unforgettable night of rhythm and melodies at Up From Here, the music concert.
Experience an evening of sophistication at the Governor General's Gala on February 3rd.
Let's congregate in thanksgiving at the Ecumenical Church service on February 4th, and then we head to the St. Paul's Community Center for some Independence family fun.
On February 5th, Prime Minister, the Honorable Dickon Mitchell, will share his vision for Grenada's growth and prosperity over the next 25 years.
As we approach the eve of independence on February 6th, we stick with tradition and celebrate National Colors Day.
The big day, February 7th, is not to be missed. Witness the combination of Grenada's...
This is 50 years of Calypso excellence as Made in Grenada presents Calypso at 50, featuring Unlucky.
I must go back, my little island is called.
The original inspector.
So when you see me in the cold mountain, what a plantain.
Flying Turkey, Lady Cinty, Smokey, Peter Humphrey, Randy Isaac, Woodsman Kelly, Squeezy, Scholar, Black Wizard, and Chamo, and the Hitman Inspector. One stage, one night, Sunday, February 11th, 6 p.m. sharp at the Grenada National Cricket Stadium. Tickets are $50 and are available at Canadian Optical, Town and Grandad's, Mitchell's Wellness, Grandad's, St. David Pharmacy, Max's More, and St. Andrew Pharmacy, Calypso, Satez, Shizemore, Licks and Bites, and GoToFed.com. The hits, the classics, the performances as Grenada celebrates 50. Sponsored by Flow, Brighton and Miners, Antillian Group, Spice-Isle Auto Rental, Wayne Mitchell, Glenelg, Springwater, Grenada Bottling Company, Grenada Distillers, makers of Gladscott Rum. Sunday, February 11th, 6 p.m. Grenada National Stadium. This is 50 years of Calypso excellence.
We walking, yeah. We chipping, yeah. We chipping, yeah, yeah. We loving, yeah. We loving, yeah. We living, yeah. We living, yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's because they're about talking, yeah. Then smile in your face. So what, they don't want to front with you. to the real world. I want you to smile on the regular. No stress on the small problems. Come closer, let me rock with you. Put a smile on your face, cause life's sweet like honey. Look how we blessed. We work so hard and the Father daily. Free up nothing on we chest, yes. Sweet like honey. Look how we blessed. We work so hard and the Father daily. Free up nothing on we chest, yes. We walking, yeah. We walking, yeah. We chipping, yeah. We chipping, yeah, yeah. We loving, yeah. We loving, yeah. We living, yeah. We living, yeah, yeah, yeah. Say, life too short, my friend. Love and laugh as much as you can. Celebrate one day to another. Tell your mama you love her. Life's sweet like honey. Look how we blessed. We work so hard and the Father daily. Free up nothing on we chest, yes. We walking, yeah. We walking, yeah. We chipping, yeah. We chipping, yeah, yeah, yeah. We loving, yeah. We loving, yeah. We living, yeah. We living, yeah, yeah, yeah. Life is short, my friend. Father daily.
You want so much more than what you know. 'Cause even through your struggles, you never turn your lights down, you always glow. Oh. And when the dreams are fading, stay focused, 'cause I believe in you. When you feel alone and tired, be patient, 'cause Jah will see you through. Brighter days are coming, things are gonna get better, and it won't be long. In the morning you will see the sun. Things are gonna get better, and it won't be long.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to invite you to start taking your seats. We are about to begin the second segment of the Unveiling. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. We are about to begin. Again, I'd like to thank all of you for making it out this evening. And I want to say thanks again to the Garys. And just by way of mention, Marcel Gary was the ambassador to China. And Jenny Gary, they received one of the $50 notes this evening. And I see a Kirani fan. Thank you. Our journey is one worth celebrating. It is a journey that has tested the resolve of our people. A journey filled with highs and lows, successes and disappointments. Most of all, it is a journey that is filled with a resilient spirit, a spirit of determination, a Grenadian spirit. Whether it is resisting colonial rule and forging our path to independence, whether it is building an international airport against all odds, or rebuilding a society after the fall of Hurricane Ivan, we have shown that we as a people always move forward. As we move forward into the next 50 years, we must ask ourselves, what does the future of this country look like? Ladies and gentlemen, presenting the Prime Minister of Grenada, the Honorable Dickon Mitchell.
So after my quick little sprint, allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is Dickon Mitchell. And I'd like you to close your eyes and imagine with me Vision 75. Close your eyes.
Open your eyes to a new Grenada, one that is poised to take off. A Grenada at the tip of the spear that leads into the future. Our vision for Grenada is holistic, and our actions are intended to be intentional and planned. People are the heartbeat of this nation. Our society must allow them to aspire and advance. We shall place people at the center of Vision 75 by prioritizing 5 main pillars of development that will create a prosperous and equitable society and a vibrant economy.
Health. Any vision for the future must start with our people, a healthy people. We intend to thrust the health sector to the forefront as an integral part of holistic development. The equation is quite simple. Healthy citizens equals productive citizens, and productive citizens equals more economic growth. Health is more than hospitals and clinics, and that is why we intend to create a medical ecosystem. Nestled on the border of St. George and the Virgin Parish of St. David, land has been allocated for the development of a medical campus. This campus will integrate a teaching hospital equipped with cutting-edge technology, specialist medical clinics, pharmacies, and modern retirement homes But it is beyond staying healthy. We want to use health as the catalyst for creating a healthy economy. We intend to link healthcare with tourism and agriculture, taking advantage of our therapeutic environment and positioning our island as not only a place that offers top-notch care and medical procedures, but as a rejuvenation destination and a producer of bespoke medical products with our herbs and spices.
Energy. Imagine a Grenada whose energy sector is aptly diversified to take full advantage of our elements, turning our seasons of sunshine, coastal breeze, and geothermal energy into electricity to propel our homes and economy. Our vision is practical. Reduce our dependence on fossil fuels. This goes beyond the illustrious dream of saving the planet. It's more personal. We want to make life easier for our citizens. A diversified energy sector allows our people to do more. And when our people do, Grenada grows. Our aim by 2035 is to reduce our dependence on fossil fuels by 40%. The effects of this transition will be felt by every Grenadian. Imagine hotels operating with reduced electricity costs, businesses, schools, hospitals. The spill-off effects are immeasurable. Imagine our burgeoning agro-processing industry finally able to thrive. Imagine regular Grenadians with more disposable income, all because of lower electricity costs.
Agriculture. A nation must be able to feed itself. Economic development is important, but it is impossible without food security. Our vision includes the revival of our agricultural sector. Imagine a Grenada able to support its citizens with local produce. Imagine a Grenada that imports less. A Grenada with our spices replanted and production restored to pre-Hurricane Ivan levels by 2035 and 2045, respectively. Imagine a Grenada where we end the exportation of raw nutmegs and cocoa, and we convert all nutmegs, maces, pericarps, and cocoa into processed and manufactured food, spices, condiments, and chocolates. Imagine a Grenada that meets the demand for fresh, locally produced chicken and end our dependence on imported chicken by 2040. A Grenada where our sons and daughters embrace careers as fisherfolks and agro-processors as their first choice occupations. In this vision, our citizens leverage these sectors to establish flourishing small and medium-sized businesses, while our tourism and healthcare industries create a substantial demand for their products.
Education. Imagine a Grenada where citizens are well-trained, professional, efficient, and conscious. A Grenada where people understand how to integrate and function with technology. A Grenada where citizens are eager to solve their own problems. This Grenada is not too far away. We want to empower our citizens through meaningful education. Our education system must produce the ideal Grenadian, Caribbean, and global citizen. Every citizen must have basic knowledge of civics and Grenadian history. Skills must be prioritized. As the world changes, so too must our citizens change and equip themselves to function in competitive markets. Technology will also be at the core of the learning experience. Digital literacy must be paramount as we step into the future.
Environment. Our development must not be at the expense of our environment. We must be the custodians of our pristine surroundings. We envision a Grenada where citizens have a deep appreciation and respect for the environment. Our culture and our behavior must adopt contempt for littering, polluting, and illegal sand mining. Envisage a Grenada where land use is maximized. Our island is small, and we need to be strategic in how we use it. Within the next 25 years, Grenada will be well zoned.
Society. Imagine a society that reflects our collective aspirations. Imagine a society with institutions that reflect a Grenadian reality and operate as citizen-centric entities. A citizenry with high and ever-elevating levels of consciousness and patriotism, and a mindset that supports national development. A citizenry that has shifted away from limitations towards possibilities and opportunities. A shift away from inaction and towards solutions. Vision 75 is not a dream. Vision 75 is a plan that requires the support of every citizen, both home and in the diaspora. Vision 75 is a process, one that may not be simple. But just as we navigated the last 50 years, we must create a Grenada at 75 that we can be proud of, that our children can inherit. Vision 75, a vision of the next journey that our people should take to create our future.
Thank you. I hope you've enjoyed the journey. I hope you've enjoyed the dream. But this dream is a plan. And the master of ceremony said, the Prime Minister's vision. But is this really the Prime Minister's vision? Is this really the Prime Minister's words? This is not meant to be a presentation. This is meant to be a conversation. So gone are the days when the politician tells you what the society will be like. The days we need are when we decide what the society should be like. So I want to, just as I reintroduced myself, reintroduce you to the National Sustainable Development Plan 2035. Let me say that again. I want to reintroduce you to the National Sustainable Development Plan 2035. Now, that plan was a plan I met. That plan was a plan I did not have a single input into. That plan was a plan conceived under another administration. That plan has an address to the nation by Her Excellency Dame Cecile La Grenade. That plan has an address to the nation by the former Prime Minister and longest-serving Prime Minister and longest-serving Member of Parliament and current opposition leader. That plan was drafted by Grenadians from all walks of life who gave their input about this plan. This plan should have started in 2020. But what happened in 2020? What happened in 2020? Well, I thought perhaps you'd suffered from COVID and had died. You don't seem particularly thankful to be here. So COVID happened in 2020, 2021, into 2022. And what happened in 2022? What happened in 2022? New administration. So we're in 2024. So we've lost 3 years on the plan. So we've got 13 years left. So the question then is, why Vision 75 and not 2035? I think the starting point is because most Grenadians actually don't seem to be aware of the National Sustainable Development Plan. So the start of this conversation is a conversation about a plan that already exists. And as Reverend Osbert James so provocatively put it yesterday in the ecumenical service. And for those of you who missed the service, this is a warning. When there's a church service, come to the church service, especially on Independence Day. You must appreciate that when there are politicians in the audience and a pastor has the mic, you will enjoy the sermon. So as Reverend James so provocatively put it, we don't need promises. We need a plan. We don't need promises that are reversed every 4 or 5 years, or in the periods of Grenada's past instability, sometimes every 2.5, every 3 years. We need a plan that we, the nation, agree upon and that we implement regardless of the persons who hold executive office. So this Prime Minister's commitment is this. This was not my plan. It was not our administration's plan, but it is a wonderful plan. It is perhaps not a perfect plan, but it is a plan. And since we are not perfect, I'm sure there'd be an opportunity to improve the plan. But there is no need to reinvent the wheel. There is no need to discard the plan because the plan was not started by this administration. So I want to point out that almost everything that was narrated here came from that plan. Let me repeat that. Almost everything that was narrated here came from that plan. They may make it sound nicer, they may make it sound sexier, but it came from that plan. So let's talk about healthcare. We all know the challenges of healthcare. We don't need to repeat them. But talking about the challenges is not a plan. Cursing the doctors and the nurses is not a plan. Cursing the orderlies and the security officers is not a plan. And certainly cursing the politicians and the Minister of Health ain't a plan. So how do we revolutionize the changes we need in healthcare? Well, before we talk about anybody else, let's talk about ourselves. Let's talk about ourselves. A healthy nation. A healthy nation. What's the challenges with our healthcare? Forget the hospital, forget the lack of beds, forget the ambulance. It is us. Our addictions. Our addictions to sugar, to salt, carbonated drinks, and the romanticized love affair with alcohol. The love affair with the television and the couch. The remote, the phone, and the tablet. So if we spend a little less time at the barber shop, a little less time at the hair salon, and a little more time jogging on the beach, and a little more time walking the road, climbing our mountains, visiting our waterfalls, we can start the process of becoming healthier. If we spend a little more time with our children, jogging with them when they are jogging, riding the bikes when they are riding, swimming when they are swimming, don't just go to Good Hope and bang up the galvanized when the children are swimming. You learn to swim too. So, if we consume less sugar, less salt, if we exercise some more, spend a little more family time doing wholesome activities, as in physical activities with our children, we are probably going to solve half of the nation's healthcare problems. So whether it's diabetes, hypertension, cardiac arrest, you know the barbecue stands along the side of the road? Vendors, I'm not taking anything away from you, but a doctor once told me that's cardiac arrest always waiting to happen. Barbecue stand after barbecue stand after barbecue stand, because you know why? It's the imported chicken. You don't know where it's coming from, how long it's been frozen. So we can talk about the link between healthcare and agriculture and the need to cut our importation of poultry. But the fact is, almost all, or let me rephrase that, a significant portion of Grenada's health challenges has nothing to do with the actual physical infrastructure in Grenada. It has to do with our lifestyles. So 50 years later, we have a healthcare crisis. To the diaspora who wants to return, they say to me, I want to come back, but the hospital, but the medical stations, but the clinics. But the diaspora, you have the same problem too. You like the sugar, you like the salt, and up there it comes in multiple portions that are significantly larger than what exists in Grenada. So we want you to lead by example too, by helping us address the diabetes crisis, the hypertension crisis, the cardiac arrest crisis. Simple things like our oral health. Look at the smiles of our children. Are they the Grenadian smiles that we want to put up? Or are they the Grenadian smiles that we hide? You don't actually need the dentist at 5, 6, or 7. You simply need good oral hygiene. That is not difficult to implement. That is not difficult to practice. So if we start with ourselves, by Vision 75, we could significantly address many of the primary healthcare concerns that this nation faces. The plan requires us to want to do it. The plan requires us to have the discipline to do it. The plan requires us to do it together, as a family, as a community, as a village. Now, when we do that, and we then have the medical village in Calypso, we could then say to the people who come to Grenada for exquisite medical treatment, whether it's the facelifts, the wellness, the medical marijuana, the psychedelics, the public research, the retirement homes, you have to first understand that we live healthy lives in Grenada, that we eat healthy, we exercise, we engage in family time, we take care of our environment. And when we do that, our Vision 75 becomes a reality. But we see healthcare not just as a personal obligation to ourselves. We see healthcare as one of the main pillars for transforming Grenada's economy. And so I'm sure the same way 40 years ago, people thought Charles Modica was a crazy man. And I'm sure everybody thought Uncle saw a UFO when he agreed to allow Charles Modica to sign that 2-page agreement that says he was going to establish a medical school in Grenada. But you know what? 40 years later, the UFO is in true blue. And it has flown to great heights. It has produced, perhaps pound for pound, more medical doctors on the eastern seaboard of North America than any institution. Hundreds of Grenadians, if not thousands of Grenadians, have benefited both in the medical field and in the arts. And it is one of the institutions, 40 years later, we are absolutely proud of. So proud that it made our commemorative $50 note. So when we dream today, and when we say we need a teaching hospital that caters to medical tourism, that has a state-of-the-art facility, that creates the ecosystem for a medical village, we need another UFO. We want that UFO to land on the stretch in Calypso. And 25 years later, we want someone to be able to say, all of us in this audience here had a little Uncle Gary in us when we all supported the plan to establish our medical village in Calypso. Medical agro-processing. Did you see that VX35 on the screen? Right, it sounds like something straight out of a science fiction novel. Maybe nerve gas or something like that. But it is good nerve gas. It is nerve gas made of honey, Grenadian honey, straight out of Grenville Vale, by a Grenadian scientist, a Grenadian woman scientist, using the same herbs that we probably just cut down as bush. Tested, researched, and I swear by it. So it's part of the reason why I think I generally don't get sick. So to our visiting dignitaries, we'd be happy to introduce you to a VX35. We invite you on Independence Day to visit the booths of all our agro-processors. because God has blessed us with an abundance of natural resources in our plants, in our herbs, that we have failed to exploit. We simply cannot rely on the traditional knowledge that our foreparents have passed down. We need the research and development. We need the investment in the research and development so that we can create our aromatherapy, our herbal and spice products, and scale them up to commercial processing. Is that so difficult to do? I don't think so. We have a perfect example sitting with us this evening. And maybe it's just the woman. Her Excellency Dame Cécile La Grenade. I'm paraphrasing, but she has a PhD in food technology. De La Grenade Industries was started by her parents and principally her mother, a retired nurse who went to North America, came back, and put into practice the knowledge she had. Today, De La Grenade Industries is as representative of Grenada as the nutmeg is on our flag. The products have become as synonymous with Grenada as Kirani James is with Grenada. So can it be done? Yes, it can be done. Do we need more of it? Yes, we need more of it. Should we have a plan to make sure that we can support our small entrepreneurs, particularly our women entrepreneurs, who are leading in many of the agro-processing products that we have on island? Absolutely yes. So when someone comes to Grenada and we talk about tourism, they're not coming to get a burger that they get in New York City. They're not coming to get fries that they get in France. They are coming to experience what it means to live in Grenada. And for them to experience that, it means they need to experience our agro-processing products. So when we talk about education and research and academia, we need the same St. George's University, TAMCC, our high schools, the University of the West Indies, to understand that our greatest asset is, in fact, our people. And that the need for research and development, and for us to invest in research and development specific to our challenges, is of paramount importance. So, I will link this to agriculture. The President of Ghana should be arriving to Grenada shortly. Our foreign minister has had to excuse himself to greet him. Ghana, together with the Ivory Coast, probably combined produces more cocoa, probably about 60% of the world's cocoa. I will dare say Grenada produces the finest cocoa. We produce, hands down, the finest nutmegs. But after 100 years, we still export our raw nutmegs. And it begs the question, does exporting our raw nutmegs actually create one single additional job in Grenada? The answer is no. So I said to the GCNA, if I was in your position, but I'm not, I would simply say, we are not exporting any raw nutmegs, period. And they said to me, well, okay, fine, how are we going to pay the farmers? I said, it's simple. You get the financing for 2 years, you pay the farmers, and you stockpile and buy all the nutmegs. You buy all the nutmegs, and you keep it in Grenada. And if you do that, you have the stock that allows you to then begin to manufacturing your nutmeg oil, your nutmeg fat, any product you need from nutmegs. But manufacturing requires stock and it requires volume. If you are selling the nutmegs raw, you will never be able to manufacture. And you are caught in a centuries-old vicious cycle where you take your wealth, the black gold as we call it, the pride of Grenada, nestled on our flag, and we hand it over to someone else to manufacture. Now,
Is that so difficult to implement? Is that such a challenge that we can't overcome or meet? A simple decision to say we will not export nutmeg in its raw form, period. It's not far-fetched. The president of Ghana began implementing that program with Ghana's cocoa. He talked about the fact that the chocolate industry was worth probably trillions of dollars, trillions. And with new and emerging markets, if it's one thing people with money have a taste for, it's chocolate. They may ban alcohol, they may ban tobacco, they are not going to ban chocolates. And what was Ghana and the Ivory Coast percentage of the trillion-dollar business? A couple billions. Inconsequential. So similar for us, a smaller island, a tiny island. What's our percentage in the global nutmeg trade? Insignificant. We can't compete for volume, therefore we must compete for value added. It is not that difficult. We do not, in fact, have to wait 25 years to simply take decisions like this. By manufacturing processes applied to nutmeg and cocoa, we are going to, overnight, create jobs that simply did not exist before. You are going to incentivize farmers and incentivize the entire country to produce more nutmegs because you now have a domestic demand for the nutmegs. And it's not just the nutmegs, it's the mace, it's the pericarp. Her Excellency probably struggles to get the pericarp of the nutmeg or the guava or the gospo to make the marmalade. So it goes on and on and on. Nutmeg and cocoa are two obvious examples. But all of our spices, why do we export them in a raw form? Doing so does not add a single new job to the economy. Engaging in manufacturing almost overnight creates jobs, research and development, and all of the value-added chain that we need. But why have we not done that? What is holding us back? Why the timidity? Why the fear? Why the lack of courage? Is it because of a lack of political will? Is it because of a lack of national will? Is it because of a refusal for us to, in fact, say, you don't need to dress as I was dressed half an hour ago to have a conversation about how we move our country together forward? So, to GCNA or to GCA, it doesn't require the government for you to take a policy decision that says we will not export raw nutmegs. It takes your willpower to say you are going to do so, and a government that will support that, and a population that I'm sure, based on the claps I heard in the back, that will support such an initiative. Would we need some financing and support to do it? Absolutely. The tourism industry wasn't created on its own. Hotels have been subsidized. The airlines come to Grenada, they are subsidized. If you want to create industry, the government sometimes has to play a supportive role. The idea is that as a baby, you need some help so that you become a teenager and then an adult, and hopefully you're weaned off of the government help. But the fact is, food security, which is what agro-processing is about, is perhaps the most fundamental issue to any civilization. If we can't feed ourselves, we really don't need to talk about the rest. And the same applies to poultry and the poultry industry. We know our love for chicken. Unparalleled. I think only in Barbados they like chicken more than us. So again, there's a poultry policy in place. How do we ensure that as government and the poultry industry, including the industry that imports chicken, it's not meant to take away business from you, it's meant for you to get into the poultry industry that allows you to create more jobs, to keep the money in Grenada rather than sending it outside of Grenada. So how does the current poultry industry, which is largely import-driven, reorient itself to become domestically based and grown? Again, those are not far-fetched ideals. St. Lucia is doing it. Barbados has done it. So there's nothing wrong with copycatting. If it worked, we can surely follow suit. And I say those things because it is important for us to understand that all of this is in fact linked back to our health. Because to a large extent, we are eating ourselves to death. And it's not usually a quick and efficient death. It is usually a slow and painful one. And if we're honest, and we look around our country, you would sometimes wonder if we were in Afghanistan or Iraq, because we've got a lot of amputations. So yes, there are landmines, but those landmines are what we put, to a large extent, inside of us. So the need to ensure that our agro-processing, our food industry, and our agriculture are given the importance that is required, and that we act on initiatives that can, in fact, create Vision 75 is critical. You know, I reflected. I left high school in 1994. I was part of a class that I actually thought, I will say this openly, my colleagues were very bright students. I felt lucky to be in the class with them. I asked how many of them this evening make their living from farming, fishing, or agro-processing. Only one. And if I'm a betting man, I'm going to bet that if most of the students of our elite secondary schools, you all know them, the brand name ones, you always fight for your children to go to after they pass common entrance. If you ask, after they've graduated, how many of them make their living from fishing, agriculture, or agro-processing, I bet you would find it's 1 in every 40. So what does that tell us? Despite all the talk about agro-processing, agriculture, and fishing, our education system has nothing to do with it. It does not encourage it, it does not support it, and it does not create persons who make a career out of it. And that's the reality. So speaking from personal experience, despite the fact that when I went to school, farming was the order of the day in the rural communities, it never ever crossed my mind, never, that I would be a farmer, a fisherman, forget agro-processing. And that is still the same in Grenada today. So our education system must dramatically alter this if we are going to attain a Vision 75. Let me repeat this. If our education system does not ensure that our students, as a first choice career option, look at areas like agriculture, food processing, agro-processing, fishing, we will not attain Vision 75. It is as simple as that. So an education system that continues to regurgitate and test memory, because this is what it is, a test of memory, is obsolete. An education system that encourages cooperation rather than competition, curiosity, creativity, problem solving, critical thinking is absolutely fundamental. It therefore means the need to revolutionize our education system is paramount. So what is the plan? The plan is our teachers are going to have to be trained. Our teachers are going to have to be trained. It is not right for us to continue what must be a centuries-old process of taking you straight out of TAMCC and sending you straight back into the classroom. With no training, oftentimes still very mature and not even sure of yourself, and having to deal with contentious children who themselves are probably suffering from the oppression of our current education system, from hot and overheating schools to uncomfortable benches to very little technology to very little outdoor activity. We can go on and on. We stifle our children's creativity. By the time they exit secondary school, very few of them play music. Very few of them draw. Very few of them drum. Very few of them know anything about fashion. Very few of them sing. Very few of them dance. Very few of them can speak confidently publicly. Very few of them look you in the eye. Why? Because if I'm the teacher, you shut up when I say shut up. We don't engage in the conversation. We don't say to them, challenge us. We don't say to them, give me the different view. We say to them, I am a degree already, I am a thing already, so if you don't want to do what I tell you, well, that's your business. But that is not going to create the Grenadian citizen that we want. That is not going to create the Grenadian citizen that is confident, that is a problem solver, that is solutions oriented. Because that is how you are going to change and create a new society. So you have to appreciate that the world is flat. They know what's going on in America. They know what's going on in Dubai. They know what's going on in South Africa. They know. They know it faster, quicker, more efficient than you. By the time you figure out how to open your phone, they've circled the globe a couple times and back. So how do we leverage the technology to make sure our students are, one, protected, and two, use it to their advantage? It goes back to the training. It goes back to the education system. So we have to appreciate that the National Sustainable Development Plan has exceedingly detailed recommendations on how to tackle the challenges we face in our education system, starting with the training of our teachers. That's the starting point, because they essentially hold the reins to the future that we are going to create. But if they are not trained, how then are they going to train the future? So, Minister of Education, it's not your problem, it's our problem. It's society's problem. But it is not really the formal education system that's the true challenge. The true challenge is the informal education system, or values. Who are we? What does it mean to be Grenadian? We are celebrating 50 years of Grenadianness. What does that mean? And what will that mean in Vision 75? I suggest a couple of things. One, you have to know the history of Grenada. You have to appreciate that we are, to use the Bayesian term, a cohobla pot, a mix-up, a kalaloo. That to a large extent, we've all come from somewhere else and we've ended up here. And we are descendants of people who've ended up here. So we are mixed up, but we are all human beings. So we have to know our history. And if you know the history, then you become a tolerant society. And you become tolerant because you recognize that when intolerance is left to prevail, we've gone down that route before, and the consequences are disastrous. Therefore, the need to teach Grenadian history and to face up to the darker parts of our history and to confront it, not run away from it, by ensuring that in our schools we talk about the history of Grenada, not in some romanticized Nina Pinta Santa Maria way, but in a real way. And that it is perhaps easier to start with the modern history of Grenada and go backwards. We are a nation state. When we became independent, we were the smallest nation in the world to have attained independence. I want us to get some context. Grenada is celebrating 50 years of independence. India only celebrated 75 years of independence, I think, last year. It made 25 years difference. There are 1 billion people plus. So from a perspective of scale, we still are one of the smallest independent nation states. That gives us identity. Think about it. That's why the Grenadians in New York are more patriotic than the Grenadians in Grenada. It gives them identity. And so that identity has to be protected and nourished and taught. So, civics. Why make a big deal over the independence? Because we are a free society. We are a society of choice. We are a society where the rule of law and individual liberty and freedom matters. That's not something to take for granted. So when we teach civics, when we teach our history, we are inculcating in future generations of Grenadians and current ones the fact that we hold a unique place in the world. So 25 years from now, the next generation of Grenadians should unhesitatingly understand that. And it is that identity and that Grenadianness that will determine the kind of society we have. Whether we become tolerant or intolerant. Whether we recognize the religious freedoms of others. Whether we respect the rule of law. Whether we continue to cherish our democratic institutions and strengthen them. Whether we continue to cherish gender equality. Those things matter. Whether we are going to have a planned society, a society that has a plan and says this is where we are trying to get to. Or whether we have a society that says anything goes. That is fundamental. And we have to teach our students those values. Conflict resolution. Respect for one another. Respect for the views of one another, especially the views that you do not like. So if our education system, informally, does not pay attention to those skills, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how many certificates you get, because you will not be able to cope. You will quickly find out the world doesn't care how many certificates you have. They would need to know whether you understand that you need to be punctual, whether you understand that you need to work, whether you understand that a work day means in most places in the world 7 or 8 hours a day, every day, for 5 or 6 days a week. Whether you understand that you need to solve the problems at work, whether you understand you need to find solutions to those problems. If we create a value system and strengthen a value system that does that, then we begin to accomplish Vision 75. Because we will create confident citizens who understand that it doesn't matter how small they are. That when you are good, you're as great as Kirani James. When you are good, you are great as Miss World. When you are good, you are great as the governor. When you are good, you make people cry when Morris Bishop spoke. When you are good, they remember you forever, as we remember Sir Eric. So those values are just as important as our formal education. But we live in a world where technology drives everything. And with more technology, there's the need for more energy. So how do we get that energy currently? We get that energy from importing diesel, pure and simple. And it's called dirty fuel. And together with other dirty fuels, it has placed the world, and particularly our world, in a very perilous position. It is partly responsible for the climate change crisis that we face. So we have some rational or perhaps irrational decisions to make. Do we, as a small island, susceptible to sea level rises, devastating hurricanes, droughts, unpredictable rainfall, pests, disease, Sahara dust, volcanic eruptions, earthquakes, do we continue to rely on the very thing that is contributing to the challenges we face? Do we continue to burn diesel to produce our electricity? Or do we make the perhaps at this stage still difficult and even more expensive choice to say it is time to wean ourselves off fossil fuels? We got the sunshine, we've got the wind, we've got the geothermal. How do we leverage those to ensure that with Vision 75, Grenada has a diversified energy source? Thankfully, the technology is improving every day when it comes to photovoltaic and solar energy, and we've got it in abundance. So as citizens of Grenada, we have to commit, the government has to commit, the private sector has to commit to ensuring that we transition into a diversified energy source. We have already begun. There's a geothermal project that is on the way. We are making significant strides to begin to ramp up investment in solar in particular. So it requires changes. It requires, to some extent, a revolutionary look at how we see energy. So it means we may be in for a little rocky period. When you have to wean an addict of a drug, they're going to get some withdrawal syndromes. But we have to stay the course. Because if we don't stay the course, we run the risk of getting left behind. And so investment in solar, wind, and geothermal must take place over the next 25 years. And whether that means, for example, diversifying energy production so that it's not monopolized as currently is with Grenada, then so be it. But we must ensure that we wean ourselves of fossil fuels. And secondly, we have to find a way to make energy cheaper. It's as simple as that. The cost of energy is prohibitively expensive in Grenada. And with energy being high, you understand what happens. You have no money left after you pay energy bill. The hotels complain. The light manufacturers complain. We can go on and on. But it's not just electricity that consumes the dirty fuels. We all rode here probably, each of us, most of us, in one car. Or an SUV, or a pickup. Well, don't even talk about me. I have a lot of cars. All burning diesel or gas, polluting, traffic congestion, and contributing to the lack of exercise. And you know what? We import all of that diesel and gasoline. So by the millions each year to power our beloved automobiles, which our roads can't handle, which our roads were not built for. But there's a light at the end of the tunnel. It's called electric vehicles. It's called electric bikes. It's called electric scooters. And then there's the good old Private 11, your two legs. So we also have to transition into ensuring that we electrify our transportation system. But we can't do so if we are in fact burning diesel to produce the electricity. So again, there's an opportunity for us to move rapidly, not slowly, not waiting for someone to kick us out. For us on our own to decide that we will make a definitive, specific decision to end the importation of gasoline and diesel vehicles by a fixed date. And we've begun this process. We have removed all customs duties on electric and hybrid vehicles. So if I was you, and I had to buy any vehicle, I would buy an electric vehicle. Don't come asking for exemptions on gasoline and diesel vehicles. They will not be granted under this administration. There's a policy in place, you can buy an electric vehicle. In fact, someone gave me a pretty radical idea. He said, you know what? We drive right-hand vehicles here. Most of the world, the big countries, China, North America, Canada, they drive left-hand vehicles. You know, the assembly line for left-hand vehicles is a lot. So they produce more cars. The unit cost per car is cheaper. If you want a right-hand vehicle, the unit cost goes up because it's a smaller market. So why not just simply switch to left-hand vehicles? It gives you a cheaper vehicle. It gives you an electric vehicle. Do we have nostalgia for right-hand vehicles just because we've driven right-hand vehicles all our lives? Or do we make a rational decision and say, let's buy a cheaper electric vehicle, get a left-hand vehicle, and as of Independence 51, we all switch over to left-hand drive vehicles. Miami is closer than Japan. You can fly to Miami and get the parts a lot cheaper, a lot more readily available. I sound like I'm crazy? No, I say those things because you see, as a society, sometimes we simply chug along. You have challenges and you just chug along. And no one is stepping back a little and say, how do we actually address some of those things? Is there any actual particular advantage over a right-hand or left-hand drive vehicle? Okay. But if one is cheaper, there's definitely an advantage. I simply say this to say that as a society, we have to become a bit more deliberate with the public policy decisions that we need to make. And the energy sector is one such sector that provides us an opportunity now, not even in 20, 25 years from now, an opportunity now to make bold decisions that puts us, for once, ahead of the curve. Because I want you to understand the opportunity cost of this. At some point in time, Japan, China, Germany, the United Kingdom, they've already started. They've set the end date by which they will not produce combustible engines for vehicles. In some cases, as short as 5 years. So if they're not producing it, what's going to happen? Where are you going to get the parts for the combustible engine from? There's only so much the bamboo in Trinidad can provide. So it means we too have to plan. Or they will dump it on us. When you can't drive a combustible engine vehicle somewhere in Europe or Japan, they have to find a way to export it. If we do not have a forward-thinking policy, we regrettably become the dumping ground. And we would be stuck. We are too small. We simply don't have the capacity. And I think you can already see the impact of derelict vehicles on our environment. But I also want to make the further point. We don't need to become like America and buy big vehicles. We buy bigger and bigger vehicles. Our roads are small. In some cases, they're a little treacherous. So the smaller the vehicle, especially if it's one that is using clean energy, the better for all of us. But I want to re-emphasize the point that you can get to most places in Grandlands or the south of the island walking. So, we have healthcare, we have agriculture, we've got education, we've got energy, and we have a society to build. The plan is there. I hope that going forward, we can, as a nation, go back to the National Sustainable Development Plan, reopen it, discuss it, cogitate upon it, debate upon it, and begin to implement the things that are in the plan. This administration is committed to doing so. We are committed to doing so irrespective of the fact that we didn't create the plan. Some of the colleagues in our administration may have had an input in the plan. But the fact remains that as a nation, we must have a compass to stay us. And that compass can't be charisma. It can't be my youthful looks. It can't be, I like one politician and I dislike another politician. And we have to start holding ourselves accountable before we can hold the politicians accountable. So there's an idea in the National Sustainable Development Plan that says the plan should become a law. In fact, the plan calls for that. The plan calls for the plan to be enacted into legislation and for there to be a monitoring committee to make sure that the plan is being implemented. At a lecture conversation with the Grenada Bar Association, someone asked me, how do you guard against politicians simply changing policy even when the policy is demonstrably good for the country? And I responded then, off the top of my head, we can perhaps legislate, set objectives or goals for our country. It doesn't mean laws can't change, but it certainly is harder to change the law than to change policy in a whimsical manner. So perhaps the time has come, as a nation, for us to, in fact, legislate and make into law the National Sustainable Development Plan or a Vision 75 plan, where at least we can agree on 4 or 5 big ticket items that as a nation we must work towards and achieve. And then perhaps we can begin to test and measure and hold our politicians accountable on the basis of that plan rather than on the basis of a silver tongue. So it's not my plan. It's our plan. I invite you to read the plan. I'm happy to share and continue the conversations with all sectors, from the Conference of Churches to the labor unions, to the chamber, to our students, our teachers, our partners, so that we can begin to truly chart a course for Grenada, for Vision 75, that says to the world, the same way we did 50 years ago, that we are prepared to go out on a limb. We are prepared to make a difference. We are prepared to create and curate a future in our own image, in our own likeness, as we continue to aspire, build, and as one people, so that 25 years from now, when we look back, we can definitely say that we went up, up, up. Thank you very much. Any questions? No.
Testing, 1, 2. Thank you, Mr. Prime Minister. The Honorable Dickon Mitchell, he just asked if I need him to do anything. I think we want him to sing up from here.
We've had nice weather, and I have no intention of changing that.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of the unveiling of our $50 commemorative note and Vision 75. This evening was a memorable one. I leave you with these thoughts. Our greatest assets, our greatest asset is our people. You may have your seats, my people. We need to make bold decisions to push us ahead. G for Grenada, G for gold, and G for greatness. Let us envision the Grenada we want to see for the next 50 years and beyond. But let us go the distance together. This is our vision. Our goal is to transform Grenada. Healthcare, agriculture, education, energy, and we have a society to build. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you in a very special way for taking the time to be with us this evening. And at this point, I want you to give yourselves a lusty round of applause. I want to say special thanks to Governor Timothy Antoine. And at this time, I'd like to ask the Prime Minister again, since you've been going around the island pinning every boy and every girl, I want you to pin our governor of the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank. I know we have some pins lying around. Oh, a whole packet of pins are coming out. Don't let anybody see. And we want to thank our tech crew. And as we pin our governor, we'd like to hear the Up From Here song. Somebody better sing the song.
If I take time and I write down all the things that I love on my island, best believe my list gon' be like 5 miles long. Best believe it's love that makes me sing this song.
The cleanest breeze on the waters.
Friendly people meet in every corner. Togetherness and love is what we stand for. We stand for.
Can I beg one more indulgence?
Sure.
Can I pin Mrs. Bishop?
Oh, definitely.
You guys do a lot for us.
Where did it fall in? I think I've opened up a can of worms. But I want to pin one more person, a very special person, Dr. Dickon Jules, who has served. He's a St. Lucian, but he's a Grenadian.
So I would say, for those who don't have a pin, don't be greedy. If you don't have a pin, I have one pack left, and I'd be happy to give you a single pin. I can't pin everyone, so if you don't have one, all right? G? My pleasure.
King James, you're up next.
Where's the song? Where's the song?
And then we want to ask the Garys to make their way up to stage. All right, we heard you. You can sing the song.
If I take time and I write down all the things that I love on my island, best believe it's love that makes me sing this song. Best believe it's love that makes me sing this song.
The cleanest breeze on the waters.
Friendly people meet in every corner. Togetherness and love is what we stand for. We stand for. We stand for.
Oh, island in the sun. Look at how we've grown, how far we've run. 50 years we strong and more to come.
And as we sing the chorus, stand with me as we close.
We're going higher. 50 years we're blessed, we're forged in fire. Still reaching for more.
Going up, 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 up. Going up, going beginning. From the people.
Ladies and gentlemen, we want to thank the Governor General, Dame Cecile Lagrenade, and let's recognize her as she makes her way out.
Much more than the nutmeg and the clove. Tell the world we are Grenadians.
Three islands united as one, blessed with the strength to carry on. We're more than just that island in the sun. Tell the world we are Grenadians.
Higher, 50 years we're blessed with force and fire.
Oh, you mean?
We going up, going up, going up, 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 going up, going up, going up, 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 up. Inspire, build advance as one people together. Going up, going up, going up, 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 going up, going up, going up, 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 up.
Really and truly, can't find the words to describe what my country mean to me. So much things we take for granted, but so much things they give to me.
Peace and tranquility, family, community. It no matter where we go in the world, just know that the woman's where my heart is.
Yes, as you shake for 50 more, as you shake to reach your goal, like you're running, bring the goal.
I can see the vision clear. Sing it out to let the people hear.
Look at how we've gone and how far we've come.
50 years we strong and more to come. More to come. More to come. It's only up from here.
It's only up. We're going higher. 50 years we're blessed with fortune fire. Still reaching for more. Going up, 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 up. Going up, 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 up. Going up, 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 up.
We make the Carriacou and Petite Martinique.